Well, the Colorado aspens are blowing in the wind, and the California redwoods grow so high they ain't ever been. When the sun sets over Kansas, it may never ever end. But as I watch the sun go down, my heart longs to hear once again the whippoorwill is calling me to the place I long to go, where the hills roll through the valleys down into the buffalo. Slow and steady are the voices that I hear whene'er I roam. They remind me of where I come from, my Ozark Mountain home, my home. From the dogwoods in the springtime to the whitetail in the fall, the neighbors on the front porch just in case I come to call. Mom and Dad live down that dirt road, oh, I've missed them most of all. I think it's time to quit my wandering and go back where I belong, where the whippoorwill is calling me to the place I long to go, where the hills roll through the valleys down into the buffalo. Slow and steady are the voices that I hear whene'er I roam. Well, they remind me of where I come from, my Ozark Mountain home. Fall asleep while crickets sing their song, humming right along. Oh, the whippoorwill is calling me to the place I long to go, where the hills roll through the valleys down into the buffalo. Slow and steady are the voices that I hear whene'er I roam. They remind me of where I come from. They remind me of where I come from. To my Ozark Mountain home, my home, my home. I saw jewel beams of sunlight steal across a purple sky. I knelt down to kiss a rosebud. Oh, it made me want to cry, to think that I had been permitted to be a part of nature's plan. Oh, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man. Little children painted pictures of all the
shame or sorrow, or no selfishness in man. Let there be no shame or sorrow, or no selfishness in man.
Bonnie was a waitress in a small cafe. Clyde Barrow was the rounder that took her away. They both robbed and killed until both of them died. So goes the legend of Bonnie and Clyde, the poems that she wrote of the life that they led, told of the lawmen left dying or dead. Some said Clyde made her life a shame, but the legend made Bonnie the head of the game. The rampage grew wilder with each passing day, the odds growing smaller with each getaway. With the end growing closer, the harder they fought. With blood on their hands, they were bound to get caught. They drove back from town on one bright summer day, when a man they befriended stepped out in the way. With no thought of dying, they pulled to the side, but death lay there waiting for Bonnie and Clyde. 2 years of running was ended that day. For robbing and killing they both had to pay. But we'll always remember how they lived and died. So goes the legend of Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde.
The story of Bonnie and Clyde is a story the old folks knew. The story of Bonnie and Clyde, if you listen, I'll tell it to you. Clyde Barrow wouldn't work, so he chopped off his toe in a Huntsville prison where he got his parole. Then he traveled to Dallas where he found him a friend. It was Miss Bonnie Parker, and that's where it all began. They found them a driver for their getaway Ford. They were soon well known through a dozen states or more. Then Clyde's brother Buck and his pretty wife Blanche joined them, and that made up the famous Barrow Gang. Bonnie Parker was a poet and Blanche Barrow was a cook. Clyde was a fast draw and Buck a smarter crook. Their driver was a wonderful mechanic, so they say, and soon they were all famous in their own peculiar way. The stories were so many that you couldn't read them all. The legend grew and grew about the Barrows and the law. The Barrow gang swept through the land and many were their friends, but pretty soon they realized the law was closing in. Out near Dexter, Iowa, they had a change of flow. In a gunfight with police, Clyde lost his brother Buck. But Clyde and Bonnie got away the second time that year. Bonnie wrote her poems and she knew the end was near. At 9:15 on May the 23rd in 34, near Sweetsport, Louisiana, death was knocking at the door. Clyde Barrow and Miss Bonnie Parker came to meet a friend and realized too late that they had come to meet their end. The story of Bonnie and Clyde, they died as they lived by the gun. The story of Bonnie and Clyde, their names are remembered as one.
I'm writing a song all about you. True songs, real, my tears. But you don't need to fear it. No one will hear it. Sad songs and waltzes for 70 minutes. I'll tell all about how you cheat. I'd like for the whole world to hear. I'd like to even you, 'cause you're leaving. Sad songs and walks